You want to be president because you want to be the first woman president. You and Bill want to set some kind of record as being the first husband-wife team to be president. You want to affect more power. You want to solicit more donations. You want to twist the arms of more people using your political bully club.
This is the Brett Mason Show. Hey, hey, hey. My name is Brett. This is my show. This is my show.
All right, here we are. Welcome into another video podcast, the latest in our series of Brett Mason Versus, where I take on people, videos, things on the internet that are driving me crazy. And I'm so happy today to be taking on Hillary Rodham Clinton. So just let me say up front that I appreciate you listening to the podcast. Please, if you hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be so awesome. If you'd like to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, iTunes, iHeart, all that stuff is on the website at brett-mason.com. Brett, BRETT-mason.com. You can also see how to subscribe to the podcast on there. You can do all those things. It would just be really great. And, of course, the best thing you can do is share. I love it when you share. That means more to me than anything that you'll know. Thank you so much for doing that. My second thing I'd like to get out of the way is that I am neither a Democrat or a Republican. My mic almost fell there. That was interesting. I used to be a staunch Republican. I used to be a toe the party line Republican. I was rah-rah, let's go kill all the people in the sand, and rah-rah progressives and social issues are bad, and I used to be that. So I'm proof that you can reform and become a better person. I most closely identify with libertarians now, so that more closely is related to what I am. So I'm not preaching or trying to win you over. I'm just, because I'm probably going to be taking on a lot of other people before this Brett Mason Versus series ends. So don't think I'm anti-Democrat because I'm taking on Hillary Rodham, or later when I'm taking on Jeb or whatever buffoon I happen to take on from that side. I don't like any of them. They're all two halves of the same coin. Every one of them deprive you of your money. Every one of them deprive you of your liberty. They just do it from different angles. One of them's got their angle they do it from, and of course you hate them. And then the people you like, they do it too. They just do it in a way you find more acceptable, and the other side hates them, and that's why it works. Libertarian, in spite of all of its flaws, is I guess probably in my opinion the way to go. It's all about liberty and freedom and that kind of stuff. So let's jump right into it. This is from a couple of weeks ago. Hillary was having some kind of meeting with ordinary folk, and then she decided to grace the press with her presence and started answering some questions. So let's jump right into it and look at her answers and talk about it, shall we?
Okay. Secretary Clinton, do you regret the way that the Clinton Foundation handled foreign donations when you were Secretary?
Am I the only one freaked out by her eyes? First of all, you'll see they're even worse later in the video. She is downright creepy looking sometimes. I know you shouldn't judge people on their looks, but creepy eyes is creepy.
State, and your opponents say that the foreign donations and the private emails are examples of the Clintons having one set of rules for themselves and another set of rules for everyone else. Do they have a point?
I am so proud of the foundation. I'm proud of the work that it has done. And
I bet she is proud of it. We'll talk about how much money they've made from it shortly, but I bet she is proud of it.
That it is doing. It attracted donations from people, organizations from around the world.
She talks like that's a good thing. Not so much in my opinion. We'll talk about that too.
And I think that just goes to show that people are very supportive of the life-saving and life-changing work it's done here at home and elsewhere.
I think it probably goes to show that people want to get you in their back pockets. And because of your political position, maybe I'm just skeptical.
And I'll let the American people make their own judgments about that.
Well, the problem with that is, that's one of those good political sayings. The problem with that is that, well, let's just run down the facts first. Since 2001, which is when they created the Clinton Foundation, they've raised close to $2 billion. This includes corporate governments from around the world. These are their 5 or 6 biggest donors are these people that I'm telling you. The governments of Oman, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates. Hello. So she talked about who they help. Let's talk a little bit about who the Clinton Foundation helps. Now, Hillary and Democrats in general always talk about helping the poor people of America and helping the downtrodden and the inner city youths, and we got to build them up and raise them up and get them out and get them going. I mean, that's what they talk about. If you had a charitable organization and you'd raised $2 billion, God, what a great opportunity to help the downtrodden of America, to help the folks living in the inner cities, to help poor people like where I was born and raised without a pot to pee in the rural areas. God, but no, what do they help? What do they help? This is their top initiatives now. This is the top initiatives of the Clinton Foundation. This is where most of their money goes. And by the way, they don't give away that much money in relation to how much they take in. Maybe that's a whole other issue for another time. I won't get into that. They're a big donor to climate change issues. I think some climate change is real. That's my opinion. I don't think it's probably nearly as dire as they say. I also think it's probably there's a chance it's just the natural order of what the Earth does. The Earth has been really hot and really cool over its billions of years of existence. And we're trying to extrapolate from 50 to 100 years that there's some kind of trend. That's just a blip. That's a tiny speck in time. You can't determine anything from that. Even if you could, there's very little evidence that it's man-made. From what I've read, if you believe otherwise, that's fine. I don't want to get into a climate change debate. The other thing they do is they help a lot of poor people in other countries. Look, I'm all for helping poor people in other countries, but you're running for the president of the United States. You're claiming to be for the hard-working people that want to get ahead folk here. If that's who you're for, shouldn't every dollar of your foundation go to that? You say you want to help. This is what gets me. This is a thing I have with some aspects of religion as well. There's a lot of people that could help you, but they just tell you they're going to pray for you. Like, God, I tell you, it's hard to make ends meet. We just didn't know how we were going to buy groceries last week. It's just been tough. Oh, God, honey, I'm going to pray for you tonight. I'm going to pray for you every night. Well, what they need is $10. Give them $10. Look, there's a lot of times somebody may not have $10, and praying might be the best thing you can do, but I'm going to tell you something. More times than not, the folks saying they pray for you has got $10. Now, look, I'm not on to getting into the religion thing. I'm just using it as an example. This is an exact parallel of that. You running for president, you're going to talk about how you're going to help the people. You want to help the people that are down there and have the will to rise, have the tools that they need. Give them some money. Take your little foundation in there. No, but no, we're going to help. Rebuild infrastructure for poor people in the African Saharan desert or something. I'm not saying those people don't need help, but you're running for president of the United States, claiming that the thing you want to do more than anything else in the world is help people in the United States. I'm sorry, I got to call BS on that. Because if you really did, that's what you would do. Anyway, I've ranted about that, but I could go on for hours about the Clinton Foundation. I mean, that's a cash cow for them. They help some people, but that's basically about tax shelters, raking in millions and millions of dollars so that you're taken care of for life is what that mainly is about. Don't mistake it. And that's not just a Clinton thing. All the big politicians do it. These libraries, the George Bush Library, the Clinton Library, it's just ways of raising money. It's all it is. It's all it'll ever be.
Secretary Clinton, given the situation in Iraq, do you think that we're better off without Saddam Hussein in power?
Look, I know that there have been a lot of questions about Iraq posed to candidates over the last weeks. I've made it very clear that I made a mistake, plain and simple.
Oh, well then we should be fine then. Oh, you made a mistake. Oh, well, okay. Is that our level of critique of our people who want to lead now? Oh, I made a mistake. And it took you what, 12, 13 years to admit you made a mistake? Because I clearly remember you being, because Obama was big on all that was wrong. Oh, that was wrong. And you weren't quite on that side last time you ran. I see you tweaked your message. Could it be because you lost last time? Message tweaker.
And I have written about it in my book. I've talked about it in the past. And, what we now see is a very different and very dangerous.
No, what you now see, a bunch of us morons out here that you think you're better than and smarter than and want to lead and be the president of, A lot of us figured that stuff out a long time ago. A lot of us figured it out 10 years ago. Some of us, the really brightest among us, I wasn't one of them, I'll admit it, figured it out as it was happening and was protesting and saying this is going to be bad, this is not good, there's no reason for this. But no.
Dangerous situation. The United States is doing what it can, but ultimately this has to be a struggle that the Iraqi government and the Iraqi people are determined to win for themselves. And we can provide support, but they're going to have to do it.
Oh, yeah. To heck with you, Iraqi government and Iraqi military. We went in and decimated your land. We made it a barren wasteland of nothingness. We killed something like 500 or 600 million civilians. What? No, 1,000. I'm still hung up on the Clinton Foundation. I shouldn't laugh, though. It's a lot of people. I don't want to make light of 500 to 600,000 people. That's a lot of dead people. That's a lot of dead innocent people. These were children. These were women. These were babies. That's. I don't think people understand that that's what happened when we went in there. And you can get numbers from different sources, and I've looked at several different sources. These are the numbers I feel probably seem to be the most accurate. You want to believe something else, that's fine. I don't think the numbers lie, though. I don't think the numbers lie that we went in and completely devastated that country, left it in complete ruins for the better, because that country in ruins is something we can pick on and take advantage of, as evidenced by we installed the government we wanted, we installed the president we wanted. But did that work? There's been nothing over there. Nobody respects that guy. He can't lead. Why? Because he's an installed puppet of the United States. The very people who went in and raped and pillaged the land. And you can say what you want, but that's what we did. So you could say, well, Brett, are you against raping and pillaging foreign lands? Well, no. If we're at war with them, it's something they done. Hussein didn't do anything to us. He didn't have anything to do with 9/11. And as a matter of fact, when Bush Sr. went in, if Schwarzkopf knew, they had the opportunity to take Hussein out when Bush Elder went in there. And Schwarzkopf and all of them said, we can't do that. This region would be too unstabilized. Any whack job group of people with some weapons and stuff. And by the way, where'd they get the weapons? Well, we gave them the weapons before when we were trying to help them, when we were like all these ragtag militant Iraqi and Syrian and Afghanistan crazy warlord people. We were giving them all these weapons to fight the Russians for us. So then you're like, well, where did they? Oh, that's how they got the weapons. We gave them the weapons. And the funny thing about that, that's what they're talking about doing now. Well, we just need to give people weapons to go, because we don't want to go over there. And I'm all for that. We don't need to be over there. We really don't. We screwed it up enough. We need to stay out of it. But I feel bad for the Iraqis because they've been demoralized. Their land has been laid barren, and there's just nothing good has happened over there. They have an illegitimate government that we installed, and we expect them to have some will to fight. But what are they fighting for? I mean, when nothing is yours, why do you fight for it? I don't know, and I think that's something the American people and the American government don't understand. Nothing over there is theirs. The whole country was leveled. Everything was taken away from them. They don't even hardly have their pride left. They got nothing. What are you going to fight for? What are you fighting for? Why would you fight for it? But my point was, Schwarzkopf knew that in the early 90s when Bush Elder went in there. And he's like, we got to leave Hussein in power, because he is the linchpin that holds this area together. People fear him. He rules. He can squash these insurgents, these little terrorist groups. As bad a guy as he is, it's good for the region. And so they left him alive. Then the Bush Jr., 43 went in there, and then we'll take him out. My point is you have no credibility on Iraq. You have no credibility on ISIS. You have no credibility on anything like that. And just because you served Secretary of State, you have no credibility on anything foreign relations matter. Don't even get me started on Benghazi, because I will pop. I swear to you, veins will pop in my head, and I will have an aneurysm on camera.
On your income disclosure recently that just came out on Friday, you are in the tip-top echelon of earners in this country. How do you expect everyday Americans to relate to you?
Oh, God, this should be great, shouldn't it? This should be great, shouldn't it? She's for the poor, the weak, and the downtrodden. What did the report? You're in the tip-top echelon of earners. That was the 1%. Remember that? That's what she did. She's in the tip top of the 1%.
Well, obviously, Bill and I have been blessed, and we're very grateful for the.
You haven't been blessed. You've used politics to garner favor and power, and used that as a weapon to wrench money from people. who were looking for favors, bailouts, laws, contracts, favor with high officials, presidents, secretaries of states. So you weren't blessed. You have taken and used politics as a big club to club people's heads and extort money from them. Let's just be honest about it.
Opportunities that we had, but we've never forgotten where we came from, and we've never forgotten the kind of country that we want to see for.
Oh, here we go. Let's go back to "I've never forgotten where we came from." I hate that line. The richest people in the world remember where they came from. That doesn't mean they're good people, and that doesn't mean they're pulling for me. Of course you remember where you came from. You came from Arkansas. You came from podunk nowhere. But so? Oh, God.
Our granddaughter, and that means that we're going to fight to make sure that everybody has the same chances to live up to his or her own God.
So the reason we're supposed to believe that you, one of the richest people in the world, is going to fight for me, a guy who nearly gets crippled every year in taxes and I don't even make any money, is because of your granddaughter? So she'll be okay? I'm thinking the $2 billion you got in your back pocket from the Clinton Foundation pretty much ensures she's going to be okay. Not to mention how much money you and Bill earn before you die. Not to mention how much money Chelsea's going to earn before she dies. That's a stupid point. It's a stupid argument. Your granddaughter doesn't need anything to change to be okay. Your granddaughter can pursue any avenue in life that she wants. And if she fails at it, she'll be fine. If she succeeds at it, she'll have full backing. She'll be fine. No matter what happens with that kid, financially, from a point of education, from a point of opportunity, from the point of getting ahead, from the point of having a place in life, that kid is going to be okay. It doesn't matter what happens, no matter who's president. And so that argument is BS. I call you out on that right now.
Given potential. So I think that most Americans understand that the deck is stacked for those at the top, and I am running a campaign that is very clearly stating we want to reshuffle that deck. We want to get back to having more opportunities for more people so that they can make more out of their own lives, and I think that's exactly what America's looking for.
All right, well, just let me be clear. I hate that answer. Did you hear that? She into that? I think that this is what America wants, and I think this is what America's looking for. That doesn't mean anything. That just means that you know what people want. That doesn't mean anything about either your desire or your ability to affect it, change it, improve it. It doesn't. As if saying that this is what America's looking for, this is what America, as if that somehow translates into that's what you want to do or what you will do. Explaining what America wants doesn't mean you're in that camp. If somebody asked me, if I was planning on paying my light bill tomorrow, and I came back with the argument and said, well, I certainly used electricity last month, and I think we can all agree that the electric company expects full payment for the services that they rendered, and I don't think there can be any doubt about that. I haven't said that I'm going to pay the electric company. I haven't even said that I want to pay the electric company. I just gave some facts that everybody knows. Fact A, they supplies me electricity. Fact B, I owe them money. That's all I said. I didn't say I was going to pay them. I said I had no intention of paying them. But it's political speak. Hillary's one of the best at political speak. They all use it. All of them use it. She's not the only one, but she's one of the best of it. And nowhere in there did I say that I was going to pay the electric company, and nowhere in there did she say she was going to do squadoosh to help anybody at any level of life in America. And I would like to go back to the very beginning of this video and repeat, if she wanted to help people, if she truly wanted to help people in America, she has $2 billion, tax-free dollars in her back pocket with the Clinton Foundation that she could start spending right now in every state of the union, helping inner-city youth, legal immigrants, Hispanics who are having problems, black people, minorities that are having problems, people in rural areas, that'd be white people in poor parts of the country that are having problems, lower middle class to lower income people, and she can do amazing things there. She could build training centers, she could build secure contracts to where you could put laborers to work to give them a leg up. There's so many things you could do with $2 billion. You don't want to help anybody. You are not running for president to help anybody do anything ever. You want to be president because you want to be the first woman president. You and Bill want to set some kind of record as being the first husband-wife team to be president. You want to affect more power. You want to solicit more donations. You want to twist the arms of more people using your political bully club. And you want to get power, 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 power. Now, look, that's not exclusive to you. 90% of the people that are in politics, that's all you're in there for. Power and money. Power and money. Power and money. I hate being lied to. I hate that you're a lying, conniving, word-twisting, political speaking, God knows what else person. And God help us all if people elect you. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, though. Let's just be honest.
This is the Brett Mason Show. Hey, hey, hey! My name is Brett, this is my show. This is my show. Hey, hey, hey!